to me, because when I met Leo, I had some, conceptions, the things that have happened, with his last stay here in the United States, and some things with Carrie Cassidy and some other things that, that he had kind of a negative connotation about coming to the United States, but he wanted to redo it and he wanted to come here. And I wanted him to feel like, he had a Masonic brother here and feel safe. And when he got here, all my misconceptions of Leo, and I've known Leo and I've had him on the show for the last 3 or 4 years, just like you. And it was just amazing to see him and meet him in person. It was like meeting my brother, that I hadn't seen in like 30 years. And I'm like, and I would feel the same with you once we see each other. And so what's so funny, we live in Southern California together.
I think we're going to make this happen. I think
we are. Well,
yeah.
We were talking, and we got about 7 minutes till the end of the hour. We were talking, you and I, about possibly putting together some sort of event here at California State University where we could get you involved, Alfred, Carrie Cassidy, Leo, all of us involved in bringing and presenting this sort of information and this evidence that we have to the masses, and I think it would be an incredible opportunity, because I think that's what lacks in the educational system right now.
Oh, that would be amazing. I would love that. Yeah.
It would absolutely be. And I feel so blessed that we have the California State University system is allowing my show. And we talk about some pretty deep subject matter that, a lot of professors and a lot of psychologists and a lot of administration might look as almost pseudoscience.
Yeah, I can't imagine hearing this stuff for the first time. I'm so used to it that sometimes I forget that, wow, somebody listening to this for the first time, it's like...
It's a little overwhelming. Well, we have been doing it for so long, and it just comes second nature to us when we talk about it. And, I have to, even when I was preparing for the show tonight, I'm like, I got to kind of bring me and Laura back to basics, and so that we can kind of tell everybody where we kind of began in this. And, you being the great-granddaughter of this president that warned us of the military-industrial complex is just absolutely, and your work has inspired me for years.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, you just, I was talking to my roommate the other day, and I'm like, yeah. I'm having Laura Eisenhower on the show, yeah, and I was like, she's like my sister. And I know a lot of your listeners are listening in tonight, and I want to thank them for joining us in tonight. I went on one of my Facebook pages today, and there was like 22 shares from all of your friends on your side, and I was like, oh, that's really cool.
Oh, that's good.
So the word has gotten out that Donny and Laura are doing another show together.
Yay.
So we got about 5 minutes till we get into the show. So let's kind of plan on what we're going to talk about in the what do you want to talk about in the do we want to talk about something current? Do we want to talk about what you're doing right now at the top of the hour?
Well, I'd love to talk a little bit about Captain K and how life has shifted since he came into my life and into sort of more of the public eye.
Fiance, correct?
No. This is somebody under legal authority to disclose a lot of the stuff connected to Mars. He actually served on Mars for 17 years.
Oh my God!
So I've got some very interesting information to share about him, and then we can talk a little bit about maybe some of the ET races connected to the military-industrial complex and what it's looking like today. Would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be absolutely phenomenal. And let's just talk a little personal thing. Do you have a new man in your life, a new guy?
No, I've been with Dr. Dream for about 3 years.
Dr. Dream, that's his name.
I know, it's like Captain K, Dr. Dream. It's like the people in my lives are like off cereal boxes. Well, Dr. Dream's even that's like psychedelic, but
I think of the old Grateful Dead. I was at this little watering hole the other night, and they were playing Grateful Dead all night, and I was like, oh, I feel like I'm back in my element.
Right. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's definitely that home feeling.
Well, you were talking a little bit about Enki. And I wanted to touch a little bit about that because Chris Geo, the owner of Truth Frequency Radio out in Denver, Chris and Cherie do DMT a lot.
Right.
And Chris did this particular night where he was having this DMT experience, and he had to get online, and he started writing this full-out detailed trip that he was on, and he said that he met Enki.
Right. Nice.
Crazy. He's like, yeah, I met the Luciferian side. It didn't seem too bad, and I'm not, an advocate of, I'm a neutral. I'm what's above, so below. I kind of sit right on the, because we all have that dark side.
Exactly. I'm so glad you're saying that, because to me, it's not about choosing sides. It's about integration, wholeness, and recognizing that these archetypes are a part of us.
They are. And these archons, that's what I did a whole show on, these archons. And if you don't feed the archons, which are these bottom dwellers, dimensional bottom dwellers, I like to call them, if you don't feed them, they just go away.
They really do. And they like to exacerbate a lot of stuff within us, because we kind of open up our field to them when we start to get unbalanced and we start to relate on a much, lower level.
Yep.
They love that. When we fall out of integrity and we fall out of balance and we go into fear, they're like, thank you for the food.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, of course, we can open the portal to connect with higher angelical, beings and higher dimensional beings. It's really our choice.
Well, and even the Mormons have talked about this. I watched this, and we got a couple minutes before we go into break here. But just a little quick thing. We'll talk about it at the top of the hour, guys. But the Mormons did this really funny video. It's like kids' recruitment video. But it talked about Elohim and the fight between Jesus and Lucifer, and that Jesus went down because Elohim felt that Jesus was much better and wasn't hot-headed, and that he could go down and hang out with the people down on the earth, and that Lucifer was a little bit more hot-headed, and that he had to kind of kick back, and he got pissed. Right? He played his little temper tantrum, and that's us as, our inner childs. We all have that.
I'm so glad you're saying this. I never hear people talk about this enough, and I speak about this all the time, just how we're made of this stuff. This is not so far removed from us. I mean, it's the negative ego that's learning to align with, a higher consciousness that creates this incredible alchemy and transformation, but all parts are included. All parts are a part of it.
It is. It's absolutely phenomenal. So we're going to go into break, guys. We are 32 Degrees of Insanity right here on K-Beach Radio and Truth Frequency. You can listen to me every Thursday night on the Truth Frequency Radio Network. We also have a wonderful amount of different programming on the Truth Frequency Radio Network, including Chris Gio's show. We have Ken Baker. We have Popeye. Popeye Jack. You got to listen to Popeye Jack. That's federaljack.com. Some very interesting stuff on that. And Popeye is right before me on the Truth Frequency Radio Network at truthfrequencyradio.com. You can also join us here on K-Beach following my show tonight. We will have the Sex at the Beach and with Chantel, and she will be doing I'm not sure what the subject matter is for her show tonight, but I see her over with Trey, our general manager, who we had on a few weeks ago as well here at K-Beach, and that was a phenomenal show that Trey and I did as well. So you guys want to stick around, because we're going to be getting into some serious extraterrestrial type of talk at the top of the hour. So stick around here at 32 Degrees of Insanity, www.32degrees of Insanity. You can also find us on Spreaker at www.spreaker.com/user/the message. Stick around here. It is 9:57, 10/2/2014 on 32 Degrees of Insanity. Yeah, Laura?
Yep.
We're going in break. This is great.
This is the Truth Frequency Radio Network. We are TFR. Truth Frequency Radio.
He's a real nowhere man, sitting in his nowhere land, thinking all his nowhere plans for nobody. Doesn't have a point of view, knows not where he's going to. Isn't he a bit like you and me? Nowhere man, please listen. You don't know, don't you?
All right, guys and gals, we are back. It is 10:01 of the p.m., 10/2/2014. Gosh, I can't believe it is already October. That was kind of funny. Anyways, we are K-Beach Radio. It is kbeach.org and K-Beach FM, 88.1 FM, KKJZ, HD3, Long Beach, Los Angeles. And we are also simulcasting right on the Truth Frequency Radio Network. That's www.truthfrequencyradio.com, or you can just find us right here at KBeach, kbeach.org, www.kbeach.org. And all you want to do to learn about 32 Degrees of Insanity, real simple. Go to kbeach.org, go to talk shows, find 32 Degrees of Insanity, scan on down to that, click on the little toolbar there, and boom, binga, you will see my little cosmic friend waving to you with his little cape and the 32 Degrees of Insanity logo. And you can also find me on Facebook too. And so all of the links to all of my the Spreaker channel, the Facebook channel, our like page, our website, all of that is right there on the About page on kbeach.org. And also you can find it over at www.truthfrequencyradio.com. You can also subscribe to truthfrequencyradio.com. I think it's like $4 a month to subscribe, to listen to all of the archives. You would have unlimited, high definition archives of all the shows, all the wonderful shows that we have on here, including the Sound Doctrine Spiritual Ministries with Minister Kenneth Emmanuel. And he will be joining me a couple weeks from today. And I am really excited. Minister Kenneth Emmanuel has been my dear brother in Christ for a long time. And we will be talking about the Bible. We'll be getting a little bit into Revelation. And we will be talking some serious stuff. So this is going to be a great show. You're not going to want to miss that, because when Kenneth and I get together, it is all about the Lord. So we'll be having some fun. So all our Christian listeners out there, definitely tune in. It's not your regular type of ministry. It's not your regular Christian type of thought process. It is our thought process. It is the way that we, as Christian ministers, I guess you could say, the way that we look at it. We believe that everybody has their path and everybody has their guide to wherever they're wanting to go. Mine happens to be the Lord Jesus Christ. I don't know who yours is. Maybe it's Buddha. I really don't care. And if he's your friend, that's all that matters to me. And, so that's why we get into this. And that's why it was called Sound Doctrine Christian Ministries. But now he has changed that to Sound Doctrine Spiritual Ministries, because this is really important, because we want to, everybody has their ascension or their ways to tap into Gaia or tap into the source or tap into whatever they want to do. And as a Mason, guys, I believe in that, everybody has their own route. I don't know if it's the best route, some might go this way, some might go that way, but everybody has their path. And it's not for me to tell you what your path is, because you have to go with what your path is inside. And with that being said, I'm going to bring my dear path friend, Laura Eisenhower, back to the show. Laura Eisenhower has been with me for the last hour or so. If you're just joining us, she is the great-granddaughter of our beloved president, Dwight D. Eisenhower. And tonight we're going to get into this next hour, we're going to get into some really good stuff. So I'm going to let Laura take the helm here. Welcome back to the show, Laura.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Where should we start? Where should we start?
Okay, well, I got the helm here. All right. The winds are blowing.
I gave you the steering wheel.
Oh, well, I was thinking, for people who have never heard about Captain K, this is a really important person to look up in Google, because this is pretty huge. It's a big breakthrough that he has come forward. Basically, he is a part of something that Eisenhower set up in late 1953. He signed into law under secret executive order something called the USMC Special Section. And basically Captain K said to me, and his real name he's now disclosed as Randy Cremer, so I can actually use a name now. Basically, Eisenhower set this up to keep the MJ-12 boys in check, because basically MJ-12 got their hands on all the alien technology, all the different treaties that have happened, which actually started with, Hitler, Roosevelt, and, during the Second World